Seattle is going to be facing years of empty zombie towers with a 37% vacancy rate. This segment is brought to you in partnership with our friends at Future 42. Turn your frustration into action at future42.org. Make sure you sign up for their newsletter to be alerted to opportunities to do just that. Now, I'm going to talk about a Seattle Times article, and the whole premise of the article, factually accurate, good, but it's an example of showing the disconnect that the Times has with, cause and effect that we often see with articles that even have a glimpse of hope that they write. Because one of the responsibilities I really believe of the press is to assign blame. I think when there's a problem, the media has to assign blame. Whose fault is this? Who did this? And the Seattle Times never wants to assign blame to the true culprits, which are often the Democrats, because the Democrats control everything. So here's the headline from the Seattle Times. As downtown Seattle offices empty, city is facing years of zombie towers. So this is from Paul Roberts, the Seattle Times business reporter. Downtown Seattle may be sending strong "we're back" vibes during its World Cup star turn, but downtown's economic engine is still stuck on the sidelines. Nearly 37% now. This figure, it was like 28% last year, and we thought that was bad. 37% of the downtown Seattle office space is vacant, the most of any major U.S. downtown. Iconic office towers like the 44-floor U.S. Bank Center at 5th Avenue and Pike Street are nearly half empty and trading at fire sale prices. Veteran developers like Martin Selig have defaulted on huge pieces of their office portfolios. The city's office economy is in free fall. Since 2020, downtown office properties have lost a staggering $15 billion, or 46% of their value, and are generating $128 million less in property taxes, according to the King County Assessor's Office data. So of any major U.S. downtown in America, Seattle is the worst off. Seattle has the most vacant office spaces, and all these developers who have poured money into these buildings are writing off huge losses. It is scary stuff, and that's why they're calling them zombie, right? So here's a little bit of a glimpse at where we are compared to other places in the United States. So New York City, even the socialist-run New York City, has a 22% vacancy rate. The U.S. average is 23%. San Francisco, which is often referred to as sort of one of the most derelict cities in the nation because of how they handled homelessness and substance abuse for so long, even San Francisco is doing better than us. 31%. Los Angeles, 32%. In Seattle, 36, a little over 36, 37% of office space in downtown Seattle is vacant. And that's when you consider that. And I'm glad the Seattle Times wrote this amidst the World Cup, because it speaks to something that we've been discussing, which is the World Cup is great. I'm so excited for the businesses down there. Downtown proper looks great. The homeless drug addicts are gone. But none of that is permanent. And as soon as it all pulls out, the drug addicts will come back to 3rd and Pike. The drug addicts will be back in SoDo, in Pioneer Square. And the office buildings will still be empty. So this is a nice little break, but it's covering up a brutal reality for the city of Seattle. Now, here's the disconnect. The Seattle Times goes on to say, some commenters have blamed the downtown office apocalypse on Seattle's taxes, anti-business rhetoric, and perceptions of public safety. Yeah, okay. It's true that Seattle is losing office tenants to more business-friendly, less frayed downtowns like Bellevue, where the 25% downtown vacancy rate is closer to the national average. The bigger culprit, though, is the tech sector. Its astonishing decade-long push for office space and equally astonishing slowdown left downtown Seattle with a gap between supply and demand that will be very difficult to bridge. So here's a disconnect. Like I said, some commenters have blamed the downtown office commentators. Some commentators like me. Some commentators have blamed the downtown office apocalypse on Seattle's taxes, anti-business rhetoric, and perceptions of public safety. And then they say the bigger culprit is the tech sector. First of all of it is important to talk about. And the reality that you just brought up in this article contradicts the whole thesis. That you say, Bellevue's downtown vacancy rate is 25%, which is about the national average. So we have a difference of 11%, 10 miles apart. So yeah, what's the difference between Seattle and Bellevue? Public safety, taxes, and the anti-business rhetoric and animus. Huge difference. So 11%, that's a lot. So let's not discount. And I would also note, Bellevue's vacancy rate is lower, but their cost to lease per square foot is double, if not triple. So they have a lower vacancy rate, even though it's like $60 a square foot in Bellevue in some places to get an office space. And in Seattle, you could scoop one up for $20 a square foot, maybe even less. So that's a huge difference, that businesses are willing to spend way more money, sometimes 3 times more money leasing an office space in Bellevue than they are in Seattle. But then he throws out the bigger culprit, though, is the tech sector. Talks about how, wow, they bought a lot of office space, they built buildings, and now they're sort of downsizing. What is one of the number one reasons why the tech sector is downsizing? In Seattle specifically, while it expands elsewhere. Capital gains tax. The capital gains tax, combined with a new income tax on quote-unquote millionaires, is sending the tech sector running. And it's not just the businesses that are here, the tech businesses that are here. We've had some of these people on the show who are moving their businesses, who are leaving. But what you always forget is the people who are never going to bring their tech business here. They're never going to bring their startup here, because when they go to sell it, they're going to be punished with a capital gains tax. I was just with someone this weekend, a friend of a friend at a 4th of July party. He's got 3 businesses in the tech sector he's getting ready to sell. You know what he's not going to do? He's not going to sell them here. So he's leaving the state in a matter of months. Because when he has that big win from these businesses he's worked hard to create, he doesn't want to do it here. And so you have capital gains, and then you have the income tax on millionaires. And that's a huge reason why people are leaving and not going to come. But we want to sort of have this amorphous, oh, tech sector is retracting. And I understand there's a lot going on with AI and the like and all of that stuff. But there are other places, Austin, Memphis, Miami, that are seeing burgeoning tech sectors, that are seeing tech companies come there on a daily basis. So yeah, let's not act like it's just some, AI is a big thing. No, Seattle's the worst downtown in the nation when it comes to vacancy rates. And we have a huge part of that in the tech sector. And you want to not blame who's to blame. It's the Democrats. It's Bob Ferguson. It's former Governor Jay Inslee. It's Senator Jamie Peterson. It's all these people who pushed these policies that have made this a very bad place to start a business and a very bad place to keep a business. And that little sentence that they mentioned in their article is why even Democrats and progressives should care, where he says that since 2020, downtown properties have lost a staggering $15 billion or 46% of their value. What happens when they lose 46% of their value? They are generating $128 million less in property taxes. That's it. If you care for no other reason, for the Seattle socialist progressives who want to use all this money from big bad businesses to fund their wish list of items, well, that money is going away. And you either won't have any money to fund those things, or you'll have to go crawling back to the middle class and the poor to tax them more. So that's why everybody should care. That segment is brought to you in partnership with our friends at Future 42. Turn your frustration into action at future42.org. Make sure you sign up for their newsletter to be alerted to opportunities to do just that.